We are now talking to former Ravens, Falcons, and All-Pro fullback, Ovie Mughelli. What's up, Ovie?
Not much, guys. Thanks for being patient.
Oh, stop. I'm a little tired. I had a long day today, and I have to go to the damn Islander game tomorrow and deal with the crazy nut job people over there, the Islander Ranger game. But we're happy to have you on. First of all, how are you and your family doing with the whole pandemic?
We survived. I was the reckless one. I went to Vegas and for a conference. I work in medical sales and for a medical conference about wound care. And yeah, we had a little bit of fun afterwards. After the conference, went out a couple times, and what happens in Vegas did not stay in Vegas. Got COVID back one time, and wife wasn't too happy about that. So kids quarantined me, threw me like some crackers, and locked the door. So luckily, it wasn't too bad. The shot was out, and so my dad's a doctor, so I didn't have a choice to take it or not. So I got it both, and I was good. And then I got it again, but I didn't know I even got it. The second time I got it, it was just a cough. I thought I was just coughing a lot, and I ended up having COVID, and I got thrown back in the room with crackers and door locked. And 2 times COVID. I'm still here. I'm happy. I'm blessed. So.
Oh, you are. And by the way, we're very happy that you're okay. Happy you are on with us. But before we get into a little bit of your career, what is it like going in from being a good football player, an all-pro fullback in the NFL to medical sales? What is the difference of being a basher and now into a seller?
Well, it's there's some similarities. It is a crazy jungle trying to deal with egos and teammates and, the corporate structure, just like there's a structure in football, the OC, the head coach, your position coach. But I think the difference now is that I can't hit anybody. Like if I don't like you, I want to just like maul your face. I can't do that. I can't, chop people in the neck or run through their chest. I want to do it with some of my doctors, and my dad's a doctor, sister's a doctor. And so I say this lightly, doctors have egos. And they swear like they can't do wrong. And they sometimes look down at you like, I'm a doctor. What do you bring to the table? I'm like, well, I can, double your revenue and help your patients not die. So that's kind of important, So it's been fun. It's been interesting. But at the end of the day, it's become my new passion project because I have the ability to literally change how medicine is done and give patients across the country, easier ways to manage their health and hopefully save a couple lives. So it's been really rewarding.
We are talking to former Ravens, Falcons, All-Pro fullback, Ovie Mughelli.
So last time we had you on the show, you were talking about your foundation and the growth of that. So what has gone on for that over the last year, and what some of the things you have done with that?
Well, pandemic shut everything down, killed some of our biggest funders. We had a second comic book that was ready to come out in 2020, and we had to put that on the shelf because some of our biggest sponsors pulled out. But we're still trucking along. We've had to go down to one major program, which is our sustainability STEM program. We talk about the science, technology, engineering, arts of this environmental field or sustainability space. Work with a great company called Everfi. And so we have that going on in 4 schools right now, just a way to teach kids about how to make green by going green. But we're still very excited about the second comic book, Gridiron Green, excited about, the new message about recycling, something that's very simple, very easy, a chance for everyone to make a difference. But yeah, I've had to kind of just use me as a mouthpiece for what we're doing with the environment and why it's important that even though this is something that we feel like is happening far, far away, only polar bears and ice caps and doesn't affect me, it does. And it affects, unfortunately, the least of us. And so it's something that I want to find ways to encourage the next generation to take seriously and be part of the solution. So
good for you, man. It's a great thing, and helping our communities and helping our government is something that we should be doing, not fighting over politics and who's liberal and who's Democratic and who's this and who's that. It's ridiculous. We should be trying to help out what's going on in the world and what we can do to fix it.
Absolutely. And it's crazy. I got Republicans and Democrats in my family / extended family. And it's just insane because if everyone treated people like they want to be treated, problem solved.
I agree
That's
with
it.
you. Yeah.
If you just treat people how you want to be treated, left or right, you'd be fine. And unfortunately, that is a difficult concept. You got to stay positive and just, believe, pray that we'll find some solutions that just give us better quality of lives, give us better value, just, take care of the basics. Just the basics, not asking for too much.
Now, you were a fullback, a running back, and the game is completely different. And with the way turf and grass is, the NFL is changing practically every stadium to now turf. It's affected people with hamstring problems, groin problems, knee problems, ACL tears, Achilles tears, all that other stuff. Odell Beckham spoke out this year saying what he felt about it and how it's ruining people and ruining young players' careers and it's really setting players back. What are your thoughts? I mean, you played on both turf and grass. What is the difference as a runner on both sides of the field?
I personally like turf, but again, I'm not going like these cheetahs, like these Tyreek Hills and Odell Beckham's going, running ththese 4.3, 4.4, 4.2 40s. I'm over like 4.7, respectable 4.7.
Yeah.
At 250, 255, and I hated the ground just escaping underneath me and mushy Pittsburgh Steelers real grass. I like real grass when it's kept up, but most of the time, after the third and fourth corner when everyone's just chopped into it, can't get a good footing. So when I hit somebody, I'm grinding through it. I can't get my feet stable. And so I love turf for that because I always felt like I had a solid foundation to just plant and then jack somebody up. I'm a turf guy. And so I realized that the majority of people, especially the fast guys, the specialists, are not turf guys, but good turf, turf that, expensive, put down the right way. I feel like for the run game, it helped us.
So you played with a lot of good running backs. We went over that kind of thing last time, but you also played with a couple quarterbacks with the Ravens and with the Falcons, one of which recently just got benched in Matt Ryan and now sitting on the bench the rest of the year for the Colts. What was he like in your time in Atlanta, and are you surprised that it kind of fell to this point for him?
I'm extremely surprised, and I feel bad for him because a lot of Falcons fans. I was at the barbershop trying a haircut today, like bouncing off it, and we're doing barbershop talk. Yeah, thank you. And people were like, "Oh man, your boy Ovie, what happened to your boy Matt Ryan?" I'm like, "Matty's good." Like, I looked into this a little more, did a little, reading. He's got an injury. It's not like they're benching him because, well, he has been really, really bad. But the injury was like, all right, you know what, this is probably not going to work out for us. Plus, we want to go into tank mode so we can get a draft pick. But Matt is not a bad quarterback. That needs to be said. People need to understand that. It's fun and easy to pile on my dog Matt Ryan, but he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's had a rough end to the season, but his numbers, he's got Hall of Fame numbers. He's broken so many records, and being with him in Atlanta from the time he was a baby, a newborn Boston College kid coming to the NFL and running like a baby giraffe when he tried to scramble. He's grown so much, and he's been able to, I think, lead teams to impressive comeback wins, and his leadership is there. I just hate that after I left 2012 and even at the Colts, he's never had a solid offensive line or a solid defense to help him out, or even a solid running game. And they Frank Reich even said it, like, we promised Matt a run game. We promised him an offensive line. We didn't deliver. We failed him. And I'm glad he was honest about that, because Matt has made some mistakes, but it's hard to throw accurately when you're running for your life. And the hits he's taken, they add up. They absolutely add up. I played 10 years, and I delivered some hits. I took some hits. But as a quarterback where you can't protect yourself, he's one of the most sacked quarterbacks in the league the last 3, 4, 5 years. Like, either the most or like the top 2 or 3. And after a while, you just get a little shake. It's just human nature. So I'm not putting too much of it on him. I know he's had a great career. If he decides to hang it up, he's one of the best to play the game. But Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think that. They think that Matt Ryan is proving, why Falcons should got rid of him a long time ago. And I don't think it was a good fit for the Falcons the last couple of years because of what I said. He's too expensive, too talented to have no offensive line and to have no help on defense. Just my thoughts.
I agree with you. As everybody knows, we are talking to former Ravens, Falcons, and All-Pro fullback Ovie Mughelli. He's been on our show before. Happy to have him on again. He's been a very busy man as he's in medical sales. His family is in the medical world, as he said. His sister and father are doctors. It's crazy. What is it like? Obviously, you're retired, and people come up to you all the time, and they're like, "Oh, Ovie, you were one of the top fullbacks in the league, and now there's no fullbacks in the NFL anymore. There's like 3 or 4 fullbacks. The fullback position,
Kyle Juszczyk supreme,
is completely gone. So what is it like knowing that your position has completely disappeared in the NFL?
It's crazy, dude. It makes no sense. It kind of irritates me because these coaches try to outthink themselves and be all super fancy when what works sometimes, the easy answer is the right answer. And when you just get, a solid fullback that can move men and run through people, and it doesn't matter if that offensive lineman misses block, that offensive lineman's block is shaky. As long as the point of attack, you have a beast, an animal, somebody's going to go out there and just handle business. You can get 3 yards, 4 yards, 3 yards, 5 yards, big run, 15, big run, 20 yards. It just gives you insurance that the run game is going to be solid and effective if you have a great fullback. And Juszczyk, he's one of the best. Like it is. Someone brought this up to me, DM'd me and said, "Hey man, you really set the market for fullbacks back in 2007 when I was extremely blessed and signed an $18 million deal, highest paid fullback in NFL history at the time, and making $3 million a year. I was super excited. I think Lorenzo Neal even texted me because Michael Turner he used to be obviously with the Chargers, and Lorenzo his fullback, so he gave me his information, and he said something about the contract I had, like, congrats, whatever, because he was making like 1.5 a year, and he was the highest paid fullback at the time, and I doubled that at 3, which is crazy because in 2022, and look it up because I don't know if the numbers he told me was right. That's what told me that the second highest paid fullback is making like $3 million a year, like 3.1, and like Juszczyk is like he's making 5, and it's great a year, but they have not gone up with fullbacks. Either I don't know what happened. They just don't value us. They don't appreciate us. They don't treat us with the respect that I think fullbacks should be treated with. And they think that you just throw anybody out there. When a good fullback who can run, who can block, who can catch, they're hard to find, but they're out there. But the market hasn't been treating them well.
Yeah, the next highest paid in terms of average annual value is the Ravens' Patrick Ricard, $3.75 million per year.
Okay, good.
And then the next highest overall, he's making about $3 million per year after Juszczyk is C.J. Ham on Minnesota.
Yeah, so like the third best fullback is making what I made 15 years ago, or more than that. It's insane. And all the while, I mean, the fullback is the least paid position in football. And I feel like if we're out there beating these top paid linebackers, top paid defensive ends, you should pay us. But that probably will never happen again, unless the cyclical thing comes around and people actually realize that having good fullbacks help you win games.